This is a 49 Panhead I just got the other day. We just got it in. I have not yet dropped the belly pin. Check for matching numbers. We're going to do a little checkout on the machine right now. And we have correct 49 cylinders. There's no casting marks on 49 cylinders, so that's beautiful. These are 50 heads, so somebody probably dropped the seat at one time. Change that. My assumption is when it was found, all this was done at the same time. It has the same age on it. These would be Superior or Chicago Motorcycle Supply exhaust. Put on somewhere in the mid-70s when they did the top end, or at least the heads, and painted this cool color. So somewhere between there and, shall we say, mid to late 60s in that period of time. It's fairly original. The seat was reupholstered, so somebody probably let it sit somewhere and rot and ruin the seat, and they didn't feel like or didn't know how to bring it back. Didn't have the money, whatever. So they did this trick early reupholstering on it. Hasn't been on the road since '77. Early Arizona plate. Look how it's curved. Isn't that neat? So this is all 49 stuff. I mean, this is original. The glass, tail light. It's all correct stuff. One bolt, one rivet. And look at that. One bolt, one rivet. So, right toolbox, oil tank, fenders, cool Harley accessory rack. Had saddlebags on it at one time. So these were replaced from the stainless when they did this top end. Probably they talked them into it because A, it's cool looking, and they were trying to seal the top end. The top end notoriously leaked on the 49s and 48s. But it still has the original lifter blocks, original distributor, correct oil pump. That is the correct knuckle style oil pump. If you pull this open, there won't be a governor in there because they needed more oil for the pans. Right frame. This is the right front crash bar. It's missing the little bolts here. That's all correct. This is the correct fender. No rivets. No, I've got it squished down right now, but when you see the picture set, it has the right 49 fork on it. This is the sandcast fork and has the right stamping in here. So it has a early style spotlight here and a pan style on that side. So I'm going to take this off, and these are very nice gas caps. I'm going to take those off, take off these cool covers here, and take this off here, and either I'm going to price it as is, or I'm going to price it running with the correct 49 heads and stainless covers. So I haven't discovered what carburetor it has yet. It's all dark in there. I'll get a flashlight over here if I do have the right carb. So, and you can't use this rear stand with this exhaust, so I'm just going to take the rear stand off. It doesn't have the clip on it. But this is the right 4950 rear fender. See, with all this knurling here, this is all correct stuff. So it's actually a really, really nice bike. I'd be amazed if it's not matching belly numbers. It's too complete, too original. So this is an accessory shift knob. If you watch the videos, we've gone through a bunch of these. So it even has the right dash. See the brown? This is the early glass here. This is the early right dash. So it has been chromed. The Harley one, the chrome, has this CAD. At one time. That's probably the original mileage there. It's a correct speedo. That's the Panhead ignition switch. It's been replaced. It's still in very good shape. That's the later Panhead ignition switch. So now notice this cover here. This would be a Bates cover. They had this one in the Bird. This is an era accessory. That's not a modern aftermarket. This bike's been sitting a long time. And to me, that's a huge difference. So these bars are very interesting with this bend. They're original bars, and they're early bars. See right that? So somebody ordered this bike with this bend in it. Harley would make up whatever you want. That's not the factory bend. Somebody asked for that, which is very cool to me. These are not reproduction bars. So, very, very nice. Very cool machine. Had no air in the tires when we got it. We just aired it up. Has no appearance of ever having had a sidecar on it. This is a later style kicker cover. Not surprising, they did crack. It's correct early transmission, correct oil lines. See this breather here? That tells me this correct early transmission right there. Well, this purple was very in vogue in the hippie days in the 60s and early 70s. Now the history on it is this. I asked him, where'd it come from, etc., etc., and he said, well, there was a dirt guy here in town that came out of Eager, Arizona, and he was doing the freeway. I says, I-41 came through. He says, well, they were doing it in sections, and he was the dirt guy that did the dirt for the road when it came through. So he was the excavator that did the dirt. They called him the dirt guy. And there was this Mexican family in the way. Well, anybody at the time, when you're a white boy in the area, anybody with a brown skin was a Mexican. What that means is it was a Native American, probably Navajo. And he says, we think it probably came out of Albuquerque, but we don't know, which is even more indicate of a Navajo individual. Huge reservation between where I was and Albuquerque of the Navajo people. And the largest in the country, actually. So the man was in the way. They made a move. Freeway's coming through, and the dirt guy, the excavator, got his bike. And as far as they know, he's the one who put these tires on, but they've been ridden, if you follow me, at one time. And see how twisted this rear brake is? It's totally out of place. So this was their idea of how to take this off. So those were probably some tires he got from somebody. But you can see he might have got the whole wheel from somebody and put it on. We'll never know. Why is it like that when it wasn't obviously ridden on this bike? I mean, I don't have the answer to that. All we have is supposition. So he could have got a pair of wheels and put them on. But the reason why this is all haywire like this is somebody had this wheel off. And this was their idea of how to do this, which is not how to do it, obviously. But anyhow, so they took off the exhaust completely. This is dangling. All with the idea of taking this rear wheel off. Now how far they got, and the axle's loose here, so we assume that was that. Now, this here is not needed for the bike, so I'm going to pull this off. This is a sidecar bolt here, but we have no indication that it ever had a sidecar on it here, because I don't see any scratches up here. Wait a minute, yes I do. There's a little wear right there. I take it back. We did have a sidecar on it at one time, but it has no adjustable triple tree. So, okay, so it wasn't on there for very long, but it did have a sidecar originally. That's what this is the sidecar piece. I'm going to take that off. I'm going to take this rear stand off because you can't use it with these mics anyhow. The exhaust is totally cool. This is totally Era. This is an Era exhaust. They're very well made. Work really nice with this bike. So I'm going to trade out a couple of things. This is coming off. These gas caps are coming off for some other ones. I'm pulling these off for some other ones. The air cleaner's coming off for some other ones. I've got machines for all that. So then we're going to price it as is. Or we're going to price it. I fix it, put the right heads on, and get it running. This bike will run fine. It kicks through. Has compression. So it'll run and start, no problem. So I actually had a little oil come out on the trip. So the little piece is gone, but this is an original piece. They fall out. Probably sitting in the oil tank somewhere. So we'll flush out the system and get it running. Or we'll sell it as is, whichever. So, but anyhow, back to the story. So the dirt guy dies. Promptly loses the title. I still got to get a title on this machine. So we'll get a title here momentarily. Dirt guy dies. His son gets all his stuff, promptly dies. And then the grandson gets it with all his stuff and starts living off of this stuff instead of working. So these guys I got it from had just got the machine and been after it for 20 years. And they got it. And I don't know what they paid for it, but I'm sure they made a few grand. And that night it was on Craigslist. And they held it for me. So those of you who didn't see the story following on Instagram, now you're aware of it. So that's where it came from. I got lucky. He held it. He was a man of his word. He priced it. I said, I'll take it. And there it is. And here's the bike. And very, very correct, 49. I'm real happy with it. Very nice machine. I've had quite a few. more than most. Nice original paint ones, all the way to essentially bikes that are like an old stock. And they're right on the YouTube. Just page through, you'll see them. These are nice little accessories. So it's missing the rear ones, but these could be set up as running lights or turn signals, whichever. And this would be factory. Oh, this trim right here. So that's that. That's the story of the machine. And that's what we have. So this still has the stainless here. Somebody chromed all this. So anyhow, I will see you guys on the next video. And again, these are the correct 49 legs. Very nice bike. See you guys soon.